Okay, you guys, so listen up.
This
There
is
are four
important,
people
huh?
trying to cross the bridge before the zombies get to them. They have 17 and a half minutes, or a little over 17 minutes. It takes the lab intern how many?
You already know.
1 minute. No, two minutes for the lab assistant. 1 minute for the intern. The janitor, it takes
5.
and the professor, it takes 10 minutes.
Yes, just leave the professor behind.
No.
Oh, no tricks allowed. Nobody left
Basically,
behind.
right anyways.
Professor's calculation, the zombies will catch up to you in just over 17 minutes. So you only have that much time to get everyone across and cut the ropes. Unfortunately, the bridge can only hold 2 people at a time. To make matters worse, it's so dark out that you can barely see, and the old going to
And you cannot sacrifice anyone either.
No, nobody left behind, okay?
No.
17 minutes, okay? 17 plus minutes.
Wait down. Do your own killer.
You just have to.
Because otherwise they won't be able to see.
Okay, so 11
I think
minutes.
you're okay. The time. I think he goes with,
I'm sorry, the lab assistant goes back, that's 15 minutes, and comes back and gets the intern.
How does it take 10 minutes for
He doesn't go at 5 and they stay together because
Right,
all of them have
right.
to like to have to stay together.
Right,
Yeah.
so one can't go faster than the other, they have to go at the same
And they
pace.
Because
all
they need the light.
survive the video set, meaning that they have to stick together.
Have to stay
Five
together.
can't run it.
So we briefly went over this last class period, but we need to take a deeper dive into your summatives. So things to note, this is an individual project. Individual project, and you will be graded on criterions C and D. Criterion C, consists of communicating, and then D is real life application to global context, okay? So go ahead and take out your rubrics from last class period. We're going to review those together. And I have one for you, give me 1 second. I found one in the library. So someone is probably missing one. Take out your rubric. Can you see this? Okay. Can everyone see this okay? Yes, no?
Can we see it from here?
Can we see it from there in the back? Okay, so as stated before, none of us plan to score in the 1 to 2 or 3 to 4 range, right? At least 6, right? Yes. 5 to 6, 7 to 8. So we'll just zoom in on that portion. So this is talking about the communication part of your assignment. Again, this is, yes? I'm sorry? So you will be presenting this information. I'm sorry, Kendall wasn't here last class period. So what you guys are going to do, you're going to choose a country and a global issue. Okay, so for example, I know we mentioned obesity last class period.
I'm doing
What else was there? There's some countries too. Yes. Waterfall. So there was mentioning of lack of electricity in some countries, in some areas. Okay, so you're going to research global issues and you're going to present this information as if you were presenting to the government. Okay, so if you present to the government your proposal, what will you include? Resolutions. How will we combat this problem? What if it's obesity? What no two people should have the same topic. Okay? Same country, okay, but not the same topic. So as far as the communication part, Matisse, this is what you will be graded on. This is your rubric. So you should use appropriate mathematical language specific to ratios and proportions.
Okay.
Use appropriate forms of mathematical representation to present topic of choice information. You have a question?
Do we do on docs or?
You're going to present your information, okay? So whether it's a poster board or Canva, Google Slides, you're presenting your information to the government. So would you come in there with a Google Docs form?
No, presentation slides. No. I'm doing Canva boy.
So today we'll work on choosing.
Slides it's
Mr. Eric, do you want to notate anything?
No, my Canva is more, yeah.
Representation means also how you're gonna visualize, right? People from the government are still, they're very important, right? They don't want to see a lot of text. Yeah, so part of it for us, because you want to see what you're doing,
sentences.
but they basically want to see something shocking, right?
Yeah.
Like graphs and pie charts
So
would be
draw
a good
attention,
one.
you have to find the original way to present the ratios and proportions that you found. And
maybe
if we need
graphs
to, if we need to show you some, can be a pie chart maybe. Governments like to have like a very visual, right? Like, hey, men to women, I have an example in there, like in Saudi Arabia, was I think, no, in the Emirates. There's like 60% men in that country, believe it or not, something like that, of course. So the amount of women is like 40%, right? So there's a bit off balance. So that's, you have to show it in an image so it looks convincing like that and clear what the situation is. If there's obesity, find some original metaphor, maybe.
And
But
just
we
to
will have the-
emphasize on the communication part, so of course you need a visual, but if you're presenting to someone, they can look at the visual and interpret it a different kind of way, right? So you need to be able to speak to what you're presenting, okay? Your research should reflect that. Okay, you have a question?
You have to have a visual image, and then also puts the ratio and the percentages, for example.
The whole.
They also work at home, but there will also be constant work. Of course, you can work on.
Okay, so you present work that is usually organized using a logical structure, no confusing work or presentation. So that's 5 to 6. 7 to 8. Your work is consistent, your language is consistent all across the board or through your presentation. And your ratios and your proportions, they make sense. They're logical, okay? So everything needs to make sense consistently as you're presenting to the government, okay?
And so you have like also what was mentioned here, and you'll see the outline of the project. You have to picture, in the end, the picture that there's only 100 people in your country of choice. So you have to kind of break it down. So you have like, if there would only be 100 people in my country of choice, let's say it would be my country, the Netherlands, and there's 70 million people, and then I have my global issue for the Netherlands, then I have to break it down. So I have to be able to show what is in reality the numbers, right? How many millions of people would be on one side and the other side? And then I have to show those like, okay, if there would be 100 people, how many would then be facing this?
Okay, so my topic is like with the, how the agricultural and global warming are like, and I'm not the great for it. Can I like show that with like how the health of agriculture also along, like
too complicated because in here, so the project is about your topic, and you have to break it down to the different root causes, like the causes of the problem, right? Or what would take away the problem. Like for example, there's an environmental problem because everybody just keep throwing their trash into the drain. That just happens still here on the street. Every day as somebody coming by and throws the empty cup or whatever they have drinking. So, okay, just trash it in the drain. A possible cause could be lack of education. They don't know that it's harmful. They think it's wrong. It's like throwing away. Somebody will pick it up. So that could be, you just do your research. So not only your topic, but also you have to convince the government, right? You have to see what are the root causes, and then say, hey, this is the most important. So government, the conclusion must be something like, you have to do something about it, and this is the most urgent cause that may help ease the problem.
Is this a debate style then?
No, you tried, it's a convincing style. Yeah, you can, we don't do debate, but you present.
And then this is the most important problem. And then.
There is a debate style because you're, in the end, are going to present it to each other. So you're going to do a showcase to each other. And so you can explain your case class to each other, to us.
We want you to
But then it's like, you're going to be all in the class, like having stations. You present your project, and your peers will come visit. You have to explain what you've done. Okay, questions?
Can you start?
Can you start?
So we will present it for the whole class.
No, not for the whole class. You will have like your own station on the table, and you will just be ready if, for example, let's say, Bas wants to see what you've done, Kendall, he will come to your booth and he will explain. You walk him through it. And then maybe you will have some questions. Yeah?
Should we invite the whole school? I don't know.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so again, this is.
Again, to get the mark 7, 8, you have to be able to interrelate everything in a logical way. Right? So you start with your problem, then you have to interlink it to the root causes, like, hey, this is the problem,
And then your
and
solution.
sketch the situation, like how many people are affected, right? And then you have to break it down to the root causes. The same thing, this proportion, the most.
Okay, so this is for the global tech. Global context, this is under criterion D. So in order to score between 5 to 6, you need to identify the relevant elements of the chosen topic. Okay, so again, if your topic is obesity in America, you need to identify the relevant elements of obesity, okay? As Mr. Eric stated, it may be an economic factor or genetic factor. You need to identify those key elements. Apply the selected mathematical strategies to reach a valid solution, demonstrating the highest priority area of concern to the authentic real-life situation.
Yeah.
And we also have a spreadsheet that we want you guys to sign up on.
Yeah.
Your topic and your country. Yes.
Yeah.
Le motivate à ta place. Elle a pas de
You guys, so the rubric and the grass task has been assigned to you in total. This is a good overview of the summative.
Okay.
My barber is usually most and my barber
Et mange.
Say it one more time. I'm gonna expose you to the whole class.
link.
Except the fact that he looked like this.
Ouais, ça, je vois dans
So, you'll have access to this document as well.
What's wrong with that?
You guys, your exit ticket for today is you signing up on this, spreadsheet. Entering topic.
There's links in the document which describes your task, right? You can also see some images how you can present your data, right? You can do it with symbols, for example, right? China. So 60 people out of 100 engagement, right? That makes impression. That's impressive, right? If you put it like this. So by all means, it is in there. Gender situation. Globally, this is still true. I checked my country, it's also 50-50. We checked with Mr. Timothy, and there's countries where they have like, I think in the Emirates, they have about 60 plus male out of 100, and there's less than 40 women. So there's way more women than men in the Emirates at the moment, right? And you can also look at age, right? And I said there are some topics where you maybe want to exclude, right? If you want to talk about alcoholism, for example, below 18 you cannot buy alcohol. So you could say, okay, I just take the people that are above that age in that population to make the government more impressive for the government, right? The government needs to take care of the people that are underage, right? Banning, by the store, languages in the world.
What is the first person
This is an example.
There are two questions. Yes, 22 plus Baby.
So let's have a look at your own. What I'm saying is, so but check it out, okay? You have examples here, they're linked in, and then it will show your steps.